Hello, and what's your first name?
Joanne.
Joanne. And where are you from, Joanne?
I'm originally from Boston.
Yeah.
And that's past Port Douglas.
Yeah. And how long have you been up there?
I stayed there right up to my high school years in grade 11, and then I went straight down to Brisbane because my father went down and saw people that could get me into modelling, so he had all that fixed up for me. So when I went from school, I went straight down and I started modelling down there.
Yeah. And what was that like?
It was really good, but at the same, I needed something more than that. So because I come from a very big family, and all through my school years, I used to go out and help I was such a real tomboy. Yeah, I went out and used to help my dad load up rocks and everything, because he used to do the bin hauling and cane cut and all that sort of stuff up in Mossman there. And a lot of those the farms that he used to work on, they all had rocks in the soil. So he had to go along, pick up all of these big boulders, chuck them in the back of the trailer. And I used to love going with him to do that, because most of those farms where the rocks came down was from up at the Gorge Mission, that big way past Silk Yogurt. So I used to go there and do that, and I used to help Dad strip cane too for those days, because they haven't got the where you cut it. Everything's so easy now, but manual labour for up there, cane cutting and that, was very, very hard. And I come from, my father's white, my mum's a coloured lady from up there. She was born in Moscow herself, and she was a stolen generation. Yep. One of the And
what year roughly? What year would that have been?
It would have been the 30s, about 40s, 30s, 1930s. That would have been, because and she was a stolen generation. After my grandmother died, they automatically put her into a Catholic dormitory at the Daintree Mission. Yeah. And they sent her brother, my uncle, down to Palm Island, and then later on he went over to Warrabinda. It took a long time for my mother to reconnect with him, because they were separated at first.
Yeah, scattered them.
Yeah. And it wasn't to grow up with parents of mixed origin was a very, very hard life, not only for my siblings and I, but also for my parents as well. We couldn't go in to go get a bank loan, nothing or anything like that. Dad couldn't get that to buy us a house or anything like that, or start a business, because that was all looked down on, and there was still a lot of prejudice around.
Would you say that prejudice and I'll even say straight out racism is as prevalent today, or does it exist still today?
Yeah, it still exists today, unbeknownst to a lot of people. It does thing, and even the people, even your own like relatives and that too, you get a lot of them that they want to recognise what their background is. Yeah. And
like a shame.
Yes. And because when we used to walk with Mum when we were very young, Mum used to get a lot of questions after, are these your children? It used to make us very angry. She's our mother, you know. And at that time in our life, my siblings and I, colour didn't even come into our, we didn't even know what colour was. Like half caste never existed in our books, So my father had, every time he'd finish with the cane season, he'd go down to Victoria and he'd start the fruit down there and he'd come back up, So, but he always made sure that we had good schooling, because when we left our school, we did correspondence schooling then, where Dad would just put all the stuff that he needed, that we needed to do for our schooling, so that we didn't get behind. He just put it in bigger envelopes and send it up to Brisbane.
So still, there was still a strong emphasis on education. And then further down the track, I worked a lot. I worked in Gympie and I worked as a field officer out Mergen, Kingaroy, Cherbourg,
Wandai and all those different places, because the main office was at Gympie there, but I always went out because a lot of people couldn't sort of get into the office to do that kind of thing. And I've also worked in another section where helping people get a job and try and get their life in order and thing like that. That all went over when my own children started going to school. I sort of brought that in to work with other children that were disadvantaged with not having with not having to like have food in the house, or can't go to school because there's no food or clothes and everything. So we set up our own program at the school where we supplied food for breakfast and lunchtime, and there was uniforms there so they wouldn't get in trouble, and to deal with truancy.
How many children did you have?
I had 3.
3?
Yeah.
And they're all adults now?
They're all adults now, and I made them take on more than one vocational course. They took on about 4, all of them, yeah. So those, with all the information and all the courses that they've done, because they're pretty high up in their scores for it, they work different areas and that, so now we distill the same thing into the grandchildren now. Yeah, so
what would be your favourite thing about North Queensland, like living in North Queensland?
Where the rainforest meets the sea, yes.
Yeah, yep.
Definitely,
so
yeah.
Your favourite is the rainforest?
I couldn't live in the middle of it. Like in the middle of Alice Springs. I have to see the sea, and I have to see fresh water, because we were brought up, because we lived beside the sea when we were young, and that said my dad was always going out, and in those days like he'd go out and net in a lot of fish and crabs and everything like that, but we would share it with all the people that were struggling in that when we were young, because I remember Dad always sharing stuff out, so that kind of went off into me. I'm still the same, like I can't break through what Dad taught me, Mum and Dad to always share with other people, and don't be so greedy and not be envious of what everybody else has got. You want something, go work for it.
If you had any advice to give, say even if it's to a younger person, a piece of life advice, what would it be?
I'd encourage them, look, if you want to do something in life and you want to take yourself out of the life that you don't like, and you want to go ahead, you can do it. Look to people that you can trust and that's not going to take you along for a ride. There's a lot of help out there nowadays, and the thing is, like back in our days, money was a real struggle. We were just getting only $3 a fortnight just to, when I was in high school, from grade 8 to grade 8 and 9, you only got $3 a fortnight, and there was a check sent out every fortnight. And if you're in grade 10, it was like $6, and it went up to that was right till you got to grade 12.
So not much though.
Yeah, that wasn't much, and nowadays they get ab study, I study, whatever. Use that to your advantage, and don't slacken off on your dreams, because you can do it.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
And enjoy the rest of your day here sitting under the shade.
I got my gig, and I'm just glad I've been blessed with 3 children, and blessed with 5 grandchildren. And we don't take preference over any of them. We look after it. Everyone tries to just on the same level.
Thank you for that.